and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce to you my alma mater, the Brutal Beauties. Number 17, Bitch Please. Number 16.
Hold on. We got to high five first.
Oh.
You're good.
Black Mamba. Number 304, Critter. 9, MK3, Gypsy Danger. Number 52, Gnarly Quinn. Number 226, Honey Trap. Number 12 is Maximum Hover Drive. 2187 is Princess Leia, our captain. Number 19, Skeletory. Number 187, Sour Apple Teeny. 999 is Sweet Baby Ray. Number 5, Motion Sickness. Number 1134, the Jazzmanian Devil. Our coach is Evil Twin, and our second coach is Stinkin' Stein.
Now,
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brutal Beauties.
Now taking the track from the near bench, decked out in black with the accents of ghoulish green, that's the Coffin Draggers. Skating tonight for the Coffin Draggers, number 23, Murder Mittens. Number 070, Invader Slim. Number 94, Angel of Beth. Number 96, All of You Die. Number 300, Dolly Spartan. Number 414, Foxy Razordyne. Number 666, Strange. Number 710, Mo Fasta. Number 1029, Reckless Rose. Number 1312, Rickety Bones. Number 7780, Pee Wee Vermin. Number Boss 8055, Frankenherder. Co-captain number 18, Embezzlement. And your captain of the Coffin Draggers, number 616, Antifa. Coaching tonight, Grantula and Gare Bear. There we go. Get that switched back over. Always proud of myself when I manage to change over the music properly for the bout after the team introductions are done. So, pretty good crowd over here. Now, let us know, first of all, shout out to everybody on Twitch. Hello on Twitch. Jump into that old Twitch chat. Let us know where you're watching us from. Rep your home league. Let us know if this is the first time you're watching either roller derby or more hyper-specifically bank track roller derby. Now, for those of us here in the arena, who all in the arena, is this your first bank track roller derby? We got a pretty good, we got some claps. All right, good, I like it.
Speaking of bank track roller derby first, a shout out to our friends from the UK, Julie and Steve. Welcome to the Derby Dames bout.
Fantastic. So what we're going to do is here at the beginning, we will kind of give you a little overview of what's going on. You're going to see two people there at the back. That's Skeletory, number 19 for the Brutal Beauties, and that's All of You Die, number 96 for the Coffin Draggers. You see they have stars on their helmet. There is another skater that has a stripe on their helmet. We'll get to that in a second. Now those stars, those skaters with stars on their helmets, what they have to do is get through the pack. Once they've gotten through the pack one time, then after that, they'll come around all the way around the track, and then after that, every skater they pass is worth a point. So far, nobody is out, as we say. Nobody is out, and nobody is lead jammer. We'll explain what all that means as it happens. Here comes All of You Die with the head of steam around the outside, and All of You Die is out. So now Olive has passed everybody one time, and now All of You Die is a valid, active scorer, not a valid scorer. So now Olive is going to try to catch up, and every Brutal Beauty that Olive gets by is now a point. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for Olive.
Coffin Dragger's already making it through on one scoring round, giving the Brutal Beauties a really tough time even getting out on the first try.
So that is essentially the basis of roller derby. You have seen it now. The goal is to get your jammer, your point scorer, out of the pack and keep the other team from getting their point scorer out. Now, All of You Die, as the lead jammer, has the privilege of stopping the clock. Olive can stop the clock with that chopping motion to the hips that you see. That lets Olive stop the clock. What that does is, if Skeletori was also out, that would let Olive get points and stop the clock before Tori were to get any. So that is the signal that you saw, and you'll see that. That's a much more common thing for both teams to get both jammers out in sequence. So that was 10 points for the Coffin Draggers there. That was 2 full scoring passes for All of You Die, and we're off to a 10-0 start after one jam. Who do we have here? This is going to be Dolly Spartan for the Coffin Draggers.
And Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties.
That is right. So Sleia approaching the pack, trying to keep Dolly in check behind her at first. Now Dolly to the front and gets out.
Dolly Spartan gets through, so she's our lead jammer and has the privilege of being able to call off the jam at her discretion.
Princess Leia out as well, so now you'll see that come into action. Dolly is going to try to get what point she can here, and then you'll see her make that signal right there to end the clock before surrendering any points to the Brutal Beauties.
Strategically, before Princess Leia made any points.
So none for the Beauties, and those 4 as we expected for the Coffin Draggers. Only 4 because Dolly obviously was not able to get by the jammer who was behind her. All right, so now that skater that has a stripe on the helmet, that is called the pivot. They start in front of the rest of the defense. They can take over as jammer. The jammer can take the star off and hand it to the pivot, which you just saw Murder Mittens do, as if
we just saw Murder Mittens take the star off.
Just happened, right. Both teams did it at the same time, and we saw that star
pass it to her pivot.
Yep. So taking over as jammer for the Coffin Draggers is All of You Die. So now Olive is the active scorer for the Coffin Draggers and has finished a scoring pass. And we'll come back for more. Black Mamba has put the star back on her own helmet and is trying to get out of the pack for the Brutal Beauties. We'll talk about penalties here momentarily.
Black Mamba being held up at the rail and knocked in bounds. So she has to get back on the track behind whoever knocked her out.
Yeah, that's an important point, and it leads into us, as you see, Olive routed off to the infield. 12 seconds left in this jam. Olive's going to let the clock run and then calls it off. Penalties in bank track roller derby. In flat track roller derby, penalties are assessed in line. You skate to the penalty box, you spend 30 seconds, and you come back out on the track. In bank track roller derby, when you're assessed a penalty, you sit out the next jam. As you see, there's a Coffin Dragger skater sitting in the penalty box. So that in effect works just like hockey. So now the Coffin Draggers are skating at a one skater disadvantage here in the blocking pack. Now, one skater down might not be that much of a disadvantage, but it scales exponentially as they go. That's going to be Gypsy Danger down there for the Brutal Beauties, and Gypsy Danger is out for the Brutal Beauties, in fact.
Gypsy Danger makes it through for the first time, Brutal Beauty becoming lead jammer.
Coffin Dragger's jammer is Reckless
Coffin
Rose.
Dragger's making a thick wall in back.
And Gypsy Danger blocked off to the infield, and on her tiptoes calls it off. You do have to still be established on the track to call it off. If a penalty is assessed on your jammer, which has yet to happen, and often by now it's happened at some point, but has yet, that's called a power jam. And what would happen is your team doesn't get a jammer in the next jam. Power jams are extremely exciting because basically a team gets to focus on offense only and try to get their jammer out as many times as possible. It can be a scoring bonanza. 20-point power jams are kind of the big highlight reel type power jam scoring opportunities. That's All of You Die once again for the Coffin Draggers, all about their Often. You'll see all of jamming a lot.
Skeletori struggling in the pack. Coffin Draggers are doing a great job tonight of keeping those multi-person walls together.
Now Skeletori's trying to follow Gnarly Quinn to the front of the pack, but those Coffin Draggers blockers just squeeze right in between them. All of You Die. A little turbulence
Brutal
this
Beauty
time.
so far controlling the front of the pack on this jam.
Skeletori has the star off in her hand now and is going to try to fight past the wall of blockers for the Coffin Draggers. Now tries to block All of You Die. 7 seconds left in the jam. Olive is going to ping pong around and try to finish off the last few people to get by in that scoring pass as a couple of skaters take a tumble.
This jam going to full length. Notice if the pack gets spread out, then the pack referee will put their arms out and determine the pack is here. And at that point, everybody's out of play until the pack comes together.
Definitely, if you're new to roller derby, if you're new watching on Twitch, ask in the chat. Everybody will tell you. People will love to educate you. If you have any questions like what just happened and why, somebody will answer that for you. Here in the arena, ask us. Come up and ask us during breaks in the play. Ask anybody with skate gear on. If anything you saw where you're like, why did this happen? We want to make the sport understandable for you so you can speak this language as well. So
Princess Leia getting hung up in the back of the pack while Dolly Spartan is on her first scoring round. Here comes Princess Leia hot on her heels. Dolly Spartan calls it off before Princess Leia makes it through.
Continues on halfway through the first quarter. 4 more points for the Coffin Draggers. 41-3 here in the very early going.
Is this power jam we see lining up? No.
No,
sorry, my
it is not.
mistake. I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say from your angle, as soon as Murder Mittens leaned over,
behind Black Mamba there.
Murder Mittens with the star off for the Coffin Draggers and is fighting to get through those front blockers. Black Mamba behind a solid, as you already mentioned, that back wall of the Coffin Draggers has been extremely strong already here in the early going. Brutal Beauties have only had lead jam once so far out of 7 jams, so that often says that one team has got that back wall really working well in the early
the Coffin
going.
Draggers are dominating with those tight walls. Brutal Beauties are trying to spread the pack out, break it up. Coffin Draggers keep their walls together pretty well here tonight.
Murder Mittens calls it off, puts 5 up on the board. Up to the jammer line for the Draggers for the first time is Strange.
And for the Brutal Beauties, it looks like, who do we have?
I believe jamming for the first time.
See a number here.
Number 75, Fitzwilliam Darcy. Number 75 for the Brutal Beauties. Do we have somebody that I missed? I apologize.
Yeah,
Yep. That was a late addition, and that was not on Celeste's roster. I am so sorry about that. Fitzwilliam Darcy
she makes it out as lead jammer.
does get out for the Brutal Beauties. And Strange is going to call it off. There we go. 75 is Fitzwilliam Darcy. Right there. I'm going to guess that's a Downton Abbey reference.
Fitzwilliam Darcy, number 75. My apologies for not introducing you at the startup.
See, now I don't know what that's a reference to, so somebody's going to have to help me with that one. And whatever Fitzwilliam Darcy is a reference to, you'll have to elucidate us. But yeah, I do apologize. That was we'd printed up a larger roster for Celeste, and I eyeballed it when Celeste got up here, and I completely missed that Fitzwilliam Darcy was on mine and not hers. So that's on me. That is Mo Fasta jamming for the Coffin Draggers for the first time this evening. Jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Critter. Mo is out for the Draggers. Here comes Critter to the front of the pack, fighting with embezzlement, trying to get out.
Stuck up at the rail and, almost making it through.
Critter took a long skid trying to get the momentum down and is now.
Lots of good hits during this jam.
Mo is going to, wow, Mo with a quick move to get around Gnarly Quinn and crashing to the track, and Mo calls it off.
He said the mic is picking up when you're not talking, it's picking up like music and ancillary. So when you're not talking, turn the mic off, because otherwise it's going to pick up the music and it's going to copyright us on Twitch.
That's a lot.
So that's a 5-point jam for the Coffin Draggers. This is going to be Angel of Beth for the Draggers for the first time. Bunch of first-time jammers. This is going to be our
Angel of
first
Beth.
power jam. Here we go. All right. So it is now a power jam for the Brutal Beauties is who the power jam is for. There we go.
Number
I saw
19,
both jammers come down.
Skeletori will be
Yep.
our only jammer for this jam.
All right, so 4:47 to go here in the first quarter, and the Brutal Beauties are now. There's going to be a stoppage and play before we get to that. Yeah.
A power jam happens when one of the jammers acquires a penalty and winds up in the penalty box.
So this is going to be an official timeout. Freya Hug signaling from the front stretch, so we'll take a stoppage and play. 4:47 to go in the first quarter. Coffin Draggers 51, Brutal Beauties 3 at this point. Tucci's Touch Massage. Listed here that they are providing 10-minute massages in the vendor area. Tucci's Touch specializes in trigger point therapy, targeting muscle knots and tension to relieve pain and improve mobility. Tucci's injury rehab approach combines therapeutic techniques to accelerate recovery and restore functional movement. That is Tucci's Touch.
It's also a good time to go get your raffle prize tickets. The raffle prizes tonight are fun. We just talking about Tucci's Touch. We have a $140 gift certificate in the raffle for Tucci's Touch. We have a $400 Lost Dutchman gift certificate. Go get your raffle tickets. All right, we're back on with that power jam for the Brutal Beauties. Skeletori working hard in her first scoring pass. Strategic for a power jam for the opposing team, for the power jam team to try to keep the pack slow so the jammer can make it around as many times as she can.
That's all the things they routinely F up. Yeah, I was going to want to
Skeletori making it around for her second scoring pass.
Whistle blows on that jam, bringing it to a close. So Skeletori out there making hay during that power jam for the Brutal Beauties. That is going to be a 13-point power jam for the Brutal Beauties and Skeletori. So Beauties putting a big chunk of points on the board, but in the service of trying to grind out a few more points, Skeletori also picked up a penalty, so that swings back the other way, and now it's a power jam for the Coffin Draggers to try and immediately answer. Coffin Draggers jammer is going to be All of You Die.
It also looks like the Brutal Beauties are skating one blocker short. They have not only a jammer, but only 3 blockers on the track.
Yes, also correct. So the Coffin Draggers are also down 1 blocker, so an even pack of blockers, but Olive able to weave around and get out quickly during this power jam for the Coffin Draggers. So now Olive skating around, looking for an opening. Oh, collides with the back of Fitzwilliam Darcy, but bounces off and is able to ping pong through and get out.
And she makes it through on her first scoring pass.
Adjusting the star cover, 25 seconds left here in the Coffin Draggers Power Jam.
Coffin Draggers working hard to keep that pack slow, while the Brutal Beauties are working hard to speed it up.
Oh, there's some sibling on sibling violence. Gnarly Quinn and All of You Die are sisters, by the way, and Olive just got the best of that block. So now 7 seconds left, and Olive is going to be trucking around trying to get these blockers at the back, at least get these points. Big block by Princess Leia.
Big block to the
yes.
infield, ends that jam.
And Olive ate all of that, hitting on the concrete as well. You see Olive kind of reaching out and adjusting the pads on the way back to the bench. 10-point power jam for the Coffin Draggers. So 61-16, and we're going to have a stoppage and play once again. Here comes Freya Hugs. This is going to be another official timeout. So regulators are going to talk over a little bit more of the game action. We're going to get back to talking about our sponsors and whatnot here from our announcers' notes. I'm going to move up one and talk about Lost Dutchman Tattoo. Lost Dutchman Tattoo is one of the Derby Dame's longtime sponsors. They've been donating since 2011. They're dedicated to providing a safe and inclusive environment for all as an ally to the LGBTQIA+ community. They're committed to fostering a welcoming atmosphere for everybody. Their talented artists specialize in a variety of tattoo styles, including traditional, fine line, black and gray, new traditional, and Japanese. They invite both appointments and walk-ins to experience their artistry. Shop hours are Tuesday to Saturday, noon to 8 p.m. Join them at Lost Dutchman Tattoo. That is on 19th Avenue, just north of Indian School.
Derby Dames love tattoo artists, and we also love Raya's Riot Tattoo. Getting back to gameplay here after our official timeout.
So that's going to be Reckless Rose for the Coffin Draggers, and your jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Motion Sickness for the first time. And Sick is going to get around the outside and get clear. Motion Sickness is out and clear for the Brutal Beauties. And now, here comes Reckless Rose. Motion Sickness. Fast-moving pack. Sick is going to just kind of weave through, like play slalom and get out. And the
Motion
bench
Sickness blasts through with one scoring pass.
the bench
Calls it off real quick.
The bench signaling vigorously for Motion Sickness to call that off, coming through the corner. So 4 points for the Brutal
Murder
Beauties.
Mittens and Skeletor making a go for it in this jam.
4 points for the Brutal Beauties there, 61-20, with about a minute to go when this jam gets underway.
Brutal Beauties inching closer with 20 points to Coffin Draggers 61.
Murder Mittens looking for an opening, still looking for an opening, bouncing around. A couple of skaters down. Murder Mittens around the inside, gets out. Now with a running start, here comes Skeletor as well.
Hot on Murder Mittens' trail.
And Murder Mittens into the pack, a big
Murder
collision
Mittens
with a
takes
blocker
a few
for
other
the Brutal
skaters
Beauties.
out with her that time. Lining up
We're
quick.
going to take a moment to take a stoppage and play.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, we are back to the action. A brief time out there to check on a skater for the Brutal Beauties that took that collision at the end, but they're back to the bench.
At the Riot Collective Tattoo Studio, it's a private studio with tattoos and laser tattoo removal as well. Come with zero judgment, all good vibes. Whether you're adding new art or letting go of old, you'll find a safe, inclusive, and chill space made just for you. Follow them at the Riot Collective or Raya Riot on Instagram and Facebook.
All right, back to the action. I got a great, we got lots of vendor options and a silent auction down there, so I got to tease this before we get to the quarter break. That is Dolly Spartan, number 300 for the Coffin Draggers, and Princess Leia, number 2187 for the Brutal Beauties. And fighting around the outside, there goes Dolly.
Dolly Spartan makes it out on the high side.
Quarter clock is expired.
Princess Leia still at the back of the pack behind a tough Coffin Dragger wall. Brutal Beauties, again, controlling the front of the pack with a thick wall.
Dolly gets around Gypsy Danger.
Dolly manages to push that Brutal Beauty out of play.
So now Dolly is going to, look at, excellent
Princess
blocking
Leia
right here,
taking
yeah.
more of a blocker role at this point.
Gypsy Danger takes over as jammer at the front of the pack, and that ends the
Just
jam.
as Dolly Spartan calls off the jam.
All right, so that takes us to quarter break. Hey, give me a second here. So here's what we've got. We've got our silent auction as usual. We've got a Raya Riot Collective gift card with a $100 value, and that Lost Dutchman gift card, $400 value. Those are our two silent auction items, so get down there and make bids on those silent auction items. Your raffle prizes this evening, my goodness. Raffle prizes, as we mentioned, raffle tickets are $1 each or 6 for $5. We've got a Tucci's Touch gift card, $140 value. Siphon Draw Apothecary, $50 gift bag, $50 product gift bag. Switchblade Salon, $75 gift card. Soma Dose,
Ask any skater or ref how to get involved and be a regulator, and wear a cool zebra shirt. Still growing up, looking to grow up and be a roller derby skater yourself? Join the minor assaults. Are you between the ages of 10 and 17 and love to skate? Our minor assaults are always looking for new skaters to join their team. Our coaches not only teach technique and knowledge of the sport, but they also help build leadership, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will help in all of life's situations far beyond roller derby. Minor skating skills, dedication to learn, and a positive mental attitude are all we require. Come, see what all of the fun is about. Ask any roller derby dame how to get involved. We're back at the action with Angela Beth and Skeletori going for the jam.
And Angela Beth calls it off.
Oh. Sorry, guys, my mic was off.
Yeah, I was scrambling to get mine picked up and turned on as well. Angela Beth calling it off.
It all happened so fast. I didn't know she got
Celeste, it sounded great.
I'm better at operating my mouth than I am a button here. Right. Princess Leia breaks through quickly while All of You Die is hot on her heels just out of the pack. Princess Leia making the first scoring round.
Slaya is, ooh, nice jump right along the inside.
Jumping the coping like a pro and calls it off.
Just got by Mo Fasto on the inside. Big cheer from the crowd there.
There's
Everybody
a move you
loves a
don't see
coping
very
jump, right?
often, and when you do, you got to make note of it. When a skater jumps the coping and still lands inside in play. Nice job, Princess Leia.
So Slaya puts 4 points on the boards there for the Brutal Beauties as we get into the second quarter. Black Mamba at the jammer line for the Beauties.
Black Mamba and Strange.
Yes, and full pack out there after that quick jam. Strange. Oh, goodness. I just saw somebody go absolutely cartwheel onto the infield.
Like no problem.
Whew, I just saw somebody's wheels up in the air going on the infield. That was wild.
Foxy holding Black Mamba back.
Strange is going to race around the outside and finish off that scoring pass for the Coffin Draggers. And now Mamba blocked to the inside. Held up at the outside. Strange, wow, with a full head of steam, Strange on that scoring
Dolly
pass.
Spartan and Black Mamba doing a little one-on-one at the back of the pack there. Another hot coping jump for Strange.
Strange right in front of us just threw an absolute shoulder into Gnarly Quinn and knocked Gnarly right out of the way. That was quite a rude blocking by Strange. Strange trying to catch up, and before the whistle blows, runs
this
squarely
time,
into Black Mamba.
Yeah. Knocking Strange down.
Strange was coming with a full head of steam and basically treating that like a de facto power jam for the Coffin Draggers. We'll see what kind of points they picked up.
All of You Die, giving the Coffin Draggers, nope, not a power jam.
So that's going to be Olive for the Coffin Draggers.
Here comes Gypsy Danger, line up with All of You Die.
Ends up being an 18-point jam for the Coffin Draggers, and an 18-point regular jam at that, not even a power jam. That's quite an offensive production. And Gypsy is going to race around the outside, mostly unopposed. And Gypsy Danger out and clear for the Brutal Beauties.
Gypsy Danger this time with the chance to put some score on the board for the Brutal Beauties.
Olive tiptoes along the
A full
inside
lap
and gets
ahead of
clear.
All of You Die.
So now Gypsy Danger is fighting with Antifa and calls it off. Looked like it was in time, but we'll have to check at the back of the
Looked
pack
like
and
it was
see.
in time. Strategic for the Brutal Beauties to be the only scoring team. That jam.
Indeed. So 3 points there for the Beauties. Be about 10:30, well, 10:50 to go until halftime when this starts. That's Dolly Spartan for the Coffin Draggers. And Skeletori for the Brutal Beauties. I see from in front of me.
Skeletori for the Brutal Beauties.
Jam 19, number 19, Skeletori.
This is a tight pack, this jam. Something we haven't seen most of the game. Both teams keeping a tight wall.
Dolly Spartan is going to bull rush through the middle of the pack and get clear.
Dolly Spartan manages to break it up.
Put that star cover back on as she approaches the pack. You've got to be wearing the star to score
It's
the
important
points.
the jammer keeps the
Yeah.
star on their helmet. Otherwise,
Yeah, no
members
points
of the
scored
other
if-
team they pass, they don't score points unless
Right.
the star is on the helmet.
So 4 points for the Coffin Draggers. 97-27. That is
96, All of You Die, and Bitch Please, number 17.
Bitch Please jamming, I believe, for the first time for the Brutal Beauties here this afternoon.
Looks like the Brutal Beauties are skating one blocker short.
Olive racing through the pack had snatched that star off, but then throws it back on, and now
Making it easier for All of You Die to get through.
Olive is going to weave through the pack and gets through on that scoring pass. We are looking for the jammer for, there's Bitch Please, looking for the star, and she's got it in her hand, so it's hard to track her down, but those blockers out of play. You saw those hands go up, so Bitch Please does get out for the Brutal Beauties. Another good internal pack block. Princess Leia knocked down, and Olive calls it off.
All of You Die calls it off before Bitch Please can even make it around for one scoring lap. As a reminder, go see Tucci's Touch in the merch booth area to get a free 10-minute massage in the vendor area.
This is a power jam for the Coffin Draggers. That is Dolly Spartan, and she's out there all by herself. Around the outside she goes, and she is out and clear. Dolly now on that scoring pass. On this scoring pass, catches up, looking for an opening. Trying to get by some of those Brutal Beauties skaters. There's still that 2-wall in the front of the pack holding up, but now Maximum Overdrive and Skeletori have to let Dolly go. However, good eating up of a lot of clock during that stand by those blockers. 12 seconds left.
Brutal Beauty's doing a good job of slowing Dolly Spartan down, but can't keep her out of the
There we
pack.
go. I do need to clarify. I had not had time to update your notes yet, but Tucci is not here. So Tucci's Touch is not here. They are still a lovely sponsor and work on us with
my
the trigger
mistake.
point there. But yeah, I heard you say that. I was like, ah! Didn't have a chance to scratch.
Nobody
Right here,
told me
see,
she
they
wasn't
they
here.
answered that question on my notes, but I had not had time to update
But you
yours
know
yet.
who is here?
Yes.
Raven Sweet Haven.
Yeah, we've got 3 vendors down there
Dead
today.
Star Press and Lost Dutchman Tattoo.
Make sure you get down there and visit those vendors who are here this evening during our breaks. Raven Sweet Haven, all sorts of fantastic baked goods, sweets, non-sweets, etc. There goes All of You Die. Olive is out. This is not a power jam. That's Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties. now gets out as well. Try to keep this to one scoring attempt for Olive Utai. Olive stays upright. Manages to not go down. And calling it off. Trying to get the attention of the regulator coming around the corner. Olive calls it off.
Are you or your business interested in becoming a sponsor for the Arizona Derby Dames? Contact sponsorship at thearizonaderbydames.com to find out more information about being a league sponsor and hear us talk about your business.
So 4 points for the Draggers there, 120-27 as we are about 6 minutes until halftime. We got to talk about the food truck that's outside. We'll do that after this jam. Let you know what your food options are during the break. Reckless Rose for the Coffin Draggers.
Reckless Rose and Critter.
Critter's got the star off. Critter has handed the star forward. It looks like everybody's pretty well aware of that, so I can announce that. Skeletori is taking over as jammer. Hasn't done so yet. Big collision. Tori thought she had an opening and got right in the way of Reckless Rose kind of by accident, so that kind of messed everything up there.
Looks like Coffin Dragger's multi-person wall is working a little bit against him in this jam.
All right.
Reckless Rose calling it off on their first scoring pass.
Food truck tonight is Lucky 7 hot dogs, by the way. There are gourmet hot dog options that was posted on our Instagram as far as a menu, and they've got several fantastic options. A classic chili dog. There are various fries they can make as well for non-meat options. That's Lucky
Looks
7
like we have
gourmet
another
hot dogs.
official timeout for a moment.
If you love what you're seeing on the track, you could be out here too. Be sure to join us for new skater orientation. That's the first Sunday of every month, 9 a.m. to noon, right here at the warehouse. So let's see, that would be December, 7th. December 7th it would
like
be.
that.
Yeah, December 7th from 9 a.m. to noon, right here at the warehouse. That's new skater orientation. We used to do tryouts twice a year. Now they just have people kind of come and show up and like dip your toe and get used to it. So
What if you don't want to join and you just want to skate?
why, let us know all about that, Celeste.
Well, you can mark your calendars for the All Skate, which is last Friday of every month, 6 to 9 p.m., right here at the warehouse. Everybody is welcome, whether you're here to scrimmage, open skate, or just vibe out with the Derby community. You'll see a QR code on the slideshow to sign up, or you can just show up and roll with us. Come shred, connect, and have a great time.
The food truck wanted us to let you know that the pulled pork will be ready in 5 minutes. Apparently, I'm gonna guess by context. People tell me things in my ear and I say it out loud, but I'm gonna guess by context that somebody must have gone out there and been disappointed the pork wasn't ready. So, dry your eyes and whet your appetite because the pork will be ready in 5 minutes. Back to you, Celeste.
Does all this roller derby action have you amped up and you don't want to end the night at the end? Join us tonight at the Thunderbird Lounge for our after party, located at 7th Avenue, just north of Indian School. Hey, you can walk there from my house.
One more time.
Quick, didn't even see who was lining up. But this time, our brutal beauties, Gypsy Danger. Angela Beth and Skeletori lining up. Some people might notice how Skeletori is lined up farther behind Angela Beth. That's a strategy that some jammers like to use to get a little bit more momentum before they hit the pack.
Yeah, when you watch the Runaway Bride skate, Hollywood starts from like here. Hollywood starts practically in the 623 area code. It is pretty.
As opposed to some jammers who like to start right up on the jammer line,
right,
so
lean
they're closer
over the
to
line,
the pack.
right. Angela Beth is out and clear for the Coffin Draggers. And I hear wall, wall, wall from the pack, so there goes Skeletori. Angela, wow, Beth gets right by, kind of just danced right past Maximum Overdrive along the inside. We've got another raffle prize to report, BT Dubs. First of all, the Raven Sweet Haven, it's a 3-pack of various sweets. So no Juggo pudding this time, but just as good of a 3-pack of various sweets. And then we have another prize, 2 more prizes. We have a signed copy of Joseph D. Newcomber's newest novel, Darkest Day. That is also a raffle prize. And we have a B.A. Expletive Deleted Weirdo, B.A. Freaking Weirdo tote bag. So there is a bevy of prizes available today. Back to the action. What do we got here?
Back to the action.
It's a power
My
jam
eyes
is what it
deceiving,
is.
We have a Brutal Beauties power jam.
That's right, Brutal Beauties with
Princess Leia
Three-
is given the opportunity to put some more points on the board for the Brutal Beauties.
So the Coffin Draggers, I mentioned
Coffin
earlier.
Draggers giving her a tough time with their formidable wall.
Earlier we mentioned that the when you're on.
Off she goes, coming around for her first scoring pass.
"30 seconds left. Excellent defense by the Coffin Draggers to hold back Princess Leia and burn a lot of time off the clock during this power jam. And again, that 2-wall at the front, that's Mo Fasta and Aunt
Sliding
Tifa.
Princess Leia off to the
Right.
infield, slowing down the clock.
Excellent work by those 3 blockers for the Coffin Draggers, and Sleia's going to call it off. So Sleia did get all 5. You'll often see jammers know that when they've gotten past all 5 of those skaters. Once you get your hips in front of another skater's hip, you get the point. And you don't lose it if that skater goes back by you. So
And on a power jam, you also score a point for the other jammer who you pass in the penalty box.
yeah, you get the point for everybody in the penalty box when you pass the first skater. So that first skater is worth bonus points when there's people sitting in the penalty box. That's how the scoring works on that, by the way. That for the Coffin Drag, both of them got down in their way.
Jasmanian Devil for
Thank
the
you.
Beauties.
Jasmanian Devil for the first time.
And
Staying upright. Wow, weaving and staying up. That's your Coffin Draggers jammer, Reckless Rose, number 1029.
Reckless Rose.
And Rose is going to make her way through
Reckless
the pack.
Rose makes it around for her first scoring pass as Jasmanian Devil still caught in her first pass.
You see Rose now hunkered down, looking to crew, kind of windmilling. I used to know somebody that said windmill. I don't know why I just said
Reckless
that.
Rose calls it off.
That's so funny. Windmill. Anyway, we'll check on the points there from Reckless Rose. I saw Rose
All
kind
of
of
you die quick to line up, and here comes Bitch Please. This
So-
is a repeat of what I think we've seen in the past already.
Yeah, a couple of, well, at least once. Saw Rose holding that arm up kind of at an askew angle, that left arm, and I'm going to keep an eye on that and see if she is all right. So we can get down on the bench and see. But yeah, it may have been a shoulder or elbow. I heard somebody say shoulder behind me, so I kind of agree with that assessment. It may have banged herself up getting through the pack. We'll have to
Bitch
check on
Please
that.
finding some openings early on, but then getting caught back up and pushed to the rear of the pack.
That's All of You Die for the Coffin Draggers. As we said, Olive was going to be jamming a lot. Olive's out. So Bitch Please out too.
Both of them neck and neck, and All of You Die calls it off just in time.
So Olive darting in there, calls it off. We are approaching what will be the last jam of the first half, and it's going to be a power jam for the Brutal. No, it's not. Sorry. Just about got everybody all whipped into a frenzy for that, but it is not. It is Strange for the Coffin Draggers and Skeletori for the Brutal Beauties. As I said, the half clock has expired, so this is the last jam of the first
These
half.
are two powerful jammers. This should be an exciting last jam for the first half.
Yeah, Tori, wow, Tori
Look at that.
tiptoeing along the
Skeletori
inside. Excellent move
get
by
through
Tori.
that pack like butter. Brutal Beauty's doing a great job of holding Strange back.
Strange is going to
Could
collide
this
with...
be a sign of what's to come in the second half?
Tori's out. Strange now in the pursuit, and Strange is going to try to get caught back up. Tori's not going to surrender. Tori's going to try to get back and get these points. I love this. And Strange takes a tumble.
Oh.
Oh, Strange was really putting the hammer down and tried to get through that corner and just lost their balance.
Looks
Took
like
a
Strange was
hard
taken out
fall.
by her own momentum.
All right. That brings us up to the halftime break. That is going to be a 5-point scoring pass for Skeletori. 1 point on that last scoring attempt. So 141 to 37. Coffin Draggers are going to take the lead into halftime.
Be sure to take this time to go visit the beer stand, have a beer, go get yourself a hot dog.
Yep, Lucky
outside
7 hot dogs
at
outside.
Lucky 7 Hot Dogs,
Visit
and
those
check out
vendors.
all of our vendors.
Heck yeah. All right, we'll see you back here. Yeah, and get down there and get in those raffle prizes. We're going to give away a couple of raffle prizes here in a bit once they bring me some prize tickets. But yeah, we'll be giving those away. Hit those raffle prizes. We got like 9 or 10 things down there, and those raffle prizes are cheap as $1 each, man. All right, Derby fans, welcome back. We are just about ready to go. Halftime is just about to end. In 20 seconds, you will hear Freya Hugs blow that whistle and call the skaters back to the track. I am back with you. Celeste is back next to me. We're ready for the second half of this first bout. This is the Coffin Draggers' first bout of the year. They are up 141-37 as we head into the second half.
And welcome back to everybody who's still outside waiting for your hot dogs.
That's right.
It's worth it, I promise.
Yeah, we hear outside, Lucky 7, we hear those hot dogs are fantastic. Early reports are very, very good. And then, of course, later on tonight, we've got the minor assaults mashup. That is going to be super exciting. We'll get everybody's names and numbers and everything for that. That'll be everybody that's part of our minor assaults, ages 10 to 17 skaters. And then some of our Adult League All-Star skaters will be joining them as well to help fill the teams out and give them somebody to compete against. Iron sharpens iron, so we like our minors to skate against the best competition possible.
First jam back, second half, Skeletori and Dolly Spartan. Starting it off slow and strategic. Skeletori blasts her way through. Dolly Spartan immediately getting knocked off the track. Looks like the Brutal Beauties came back with a little more vigor.
Dolly fighting out of the pack, so trying to keep herself from being a point. And there goes Skeletori.
Skeletori calling it off, being the only scoring jammer that jam.
Jamming for the Coffin Draggers. Once again, all of you die. If you're just joining us, get used to hearing that name. All
Shout out
jams a lot.
Smackaroni and Cheese. Hey, girl.
The jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Princess Leia. Olive takes the star off, still has it in hand, and is still looking to get out. That's Brutal
Once
Beauties are
again,
out.
Brutal
Yeah.
Beauty makes it through as lead jammer.
Beauties have come out of the halftime break firing. There goes Princess Leia, half a track ahead of Olive. Sleia's going to run into that extremely effective back wall
Coffin
of
Draggers
blockers. Has to
still
rush to get up
dominating
and
the
call
back
it
of the
off.
pack while the Brutal Beauties hold strong up front.
Had to rush to get back up to call off that jam. And looks like, yep, no points for the Coffin Draggers means that Sleia was able to call it off in time. However, let's see.
Coffin Draggers exactly 100 points up, which can be obtained in one half, as we saw in the last half.
There we go. Now the points are in for the Beauties. So,
Yeah.
checking. Now we're sure. All right, points are locked. Do they say? Maximum Hoverdrive for the.
This is the first
Brutal
time we've
Beauties.
seen Maximum Overdrive as jamming this game.
And then that is going to be Angel of Beth for the Coffin Draggers. Max takes off
Both
the
jammers getting caught up in the pack. This is a tight pack this half. Angel Beth wiggling through while Maximum Overdrive still stuck in the back up at the rail. Angel Beth scores all the points on that pass.
jammer for the Brutal Beauties at the back of the pack. It looks like Black Mamba is probably taking over as jammer, I am going to guess. There's the star in her hand. So 10 seconds left in this jam. And some clearing blocks on the inside. They're trying to get Mamba clear still, obviously, and Mamba does get out. Rather academic at this point as the whistle blows to end the jam.
Coffin Draggers doing a great job of breaking up any wall that Brutal Beauties put together.
I hear a jammer penalty, and that penalty was on the Coffin Draggers, so it's going to be a power jam for the Brutal Beauties here early in the third quarter. Coffin Draggers did put 10 points on the board there, but surrendering the jammer penalty. So here we are with a power jam for the Brutal Beauties. Looks like an otherwise full pack. I don't see anybody in the penalty box.
I only see 3 Coffin Dragger blockers up there.
Is that? Yep.
Are my eyes deceiving me? Yeah, 3 Coffin Dragger blockers with a full pack for Brutal Beauties.
Yeah, there you go. So the draggers are also
Let's
down
see
a
what they
blocker
can do
indeed.
with this.
Tori scrambles to get by at the front of the pack and does get out and get clear. Putting that star back on now. Catches up to the pack. That 2 wall of blockers for the
Pretty
Coffin
loose
Draggers
pack.
are at the front
Skeletori
of the
not
pack.
having any problem making it through.
And the Brutal Beauties have a blocker at the back of the pack as well.
Brutal Beauty's taking over the back of the pack on this jam, keeping the Coffin Draggers spread out. Pretty tough jam for Skeletori, getting kicked off into the infield several times. That'll wear any skater out.
Next up will be Reckless Rose for the Coffin Draggers. Bitch Please for the Brutal Beauties.
It looks like we have a short pack again this jam. Coffin Draggers with only 2 and the Brutal Beauties with 3.
We're going to have a stoppage in play before we get to this jam. That was a 10-point jam for the Brutal Beauties there for Skeletori on the power jam. So 150-154, stoppage in play, 10:04 to go in the third quarter.
Referee timeout while they get it all figured out.
10:04 to go in the third quarter, and we have an official timeout. Don't forget our sponsor, Tucci's Touch Massage. Tucci's Touch specializes in trigger point therapy, targeting muscle knots and tension to relieve pain and improve mobility. Their injury rehab approach combines therapeutic techniques to accelerate recovery and restore functional movement. That is Tucci's Touch, one of our league sponsors. Same jammers, Reckless Rose for the looks like we are not ready to go. And now
Looks
we're
like
ready
this
to
time
go.
we have a full pack for Brutal Beauties, but only 3 blockers for the Coffin Draggers.
All right,
Off
so
they go.
there we go. Reckless Rose, Bitch Please, your 2 jammers. Little bumping, and then Bitch Please able to get clear for the Brutal Beauties.
Those 3 blockers can't keep Reckless Rose back, or Bitch Please back.
Reckless Rose went down hard down there in the corner, and I mean like hands up face first, but bounces up and is okay, continuing on
Reckless
around
Rose
the pack.
finally makes it out while Bitch Please is on her scoring pass.
Bitch Please gets hit hard back there at the back of the pack, but recovers, trying to find her way through, and calls it off with Reckless Rose sliding in, trying on the pursuit to get some points.
Did you know that Lost Dutchman Tattoo has been one of Arizona Derby Dame's sponsors since 2011? That's what? 14 years.
Was just watching the score come in. That's 5 points for the Brutal Beauties. And, however, it's a power jam for the Coffin Draggers as I look up. I'm getting my bearings. We may have a stoppage in play. That's some hand signals coming up. I see a lot of the officials looking around. If I was ever going to wager that there's going to be an official timeout, like I said, kind of, I've seen a few bouts. Usually when you see that kind of look where everybody's got a big cloudy question mark over their head, you're going to have an official timeout coming up. So that is an official timeout. 8:56 to go in the third quarter, 151-59. Coffin Draggers in front. You were telling us about Lost Dutchman.
Yeah, the Lost Dutchman's talented artists specialize in a variety of tattoo styles, including traditional, fine line, black and gray, new traditional, and Japanese. They invite both appointments and walk-ins to experience their artistry, which is impressive. Since Lost Dutchman Tattoo has been a sponsor of the Derby Dames since 2011, they deserve our patronage. Providing a safe and inclusive environment for everyone. As an ally to the LGBTQIA+ community, they are committed to fostering a welcoming atmosphere for everyone. Come stop by their shop Tuesday to Saturday, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m., and join them at Lost Dutchman Tattoo, where your tattoo journey begins in a safe and supportive place.
So that's going to be a Brutal Beauties challenge. Teams do get one challenge per half. So what happens is, all we know right now is that it's a challenge. We'll find out in a bit if it is a points challenge or a penalty challenge, and they will let us know what the outcome was. And then once the teams find out, then we can tell you. That's how the challenge process works. Gives us time to talk about some more of our sponsors, though, such as Siphon Draw Apothecary. Siphon Draw Apothecary offers handmade organic skincare products made with the finest organic, local, and ethically sourced ingredients available. Siphon Draw was created by Arizona Derby Dames legend Colleen Sinclair, also known as Dolly de los Muertos, and is skater owned and operated. We offer a wide variety of skincare products as well as doctor-recommended topicals for pain and eczema relief. Visit us at the Goldfield Ghost Town in Apache Junction or order from their website. They ship everywhere. Visit them at siphondraw.com to learn more about their products.
Give you a pro tip on Siphon Draw Apothecary. They often offer online coupons, discounts, and random free stuff in your orders. Don't tell Dolly I said that. Thinking of getting a haircut or maybe just a new style? Stylists at the Switchblade Salon specialize in progressive hair, blonding, creative color, my favorite mullets, and shags. Can you believe they're back in style? If you're looking for an inclusive, amazing place for beautiful hair that people are going to compliment you on, look no further. Switchblade Salon is located right in Central Phoenix off 16th Street and Indian School. For more information, head on over to their website, switchbladesalon.com. Switchblade Salon was established in 2005. They've been there for 20 years. They're queer owned by the wife of our very own Cindy Launcher. Sorry about that pause. I was watching a ref. The wife of Heather, the wife of our very own Cindy Launcher, owns Switchblade Salon. She's been operating it for 20 years. Her mission is to have a safe space in the community where every client is comfortable being exactly who they are, body positive and gender affirming. Her hair creation
It would appear, I'm looking around, looks like the teams have been made aware, so we're allowed to let you know that was an unsuccessful challenge by the Brutal Beauties. They were challenging a low block on their jammer, and that penalty stands. So the Brutal Beauties have lost their second half challenge, do not have the opportunity to challenge another penalty or points decision for the rest of the game, and their jammer is parked in the penalty box. No. Whoever's in the penalty box isn't wearing a star, so... Aha. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it, nope, totem, they said. So what totem means, thank you very much, Infidel Castro. So Castro next to me on the scoreboard lets me know they have a totem, which means that they're, can you define totem? That's when there's more penalties than can be served? Well, okay, a totem is a completely full, there is not, okay, I get it, there we are. Not a power jam for the Coffin draggers, thank you. The Brutal Beauties were challenging the penalty on their jammer because they wanted to get a power jam because there were penalties on both jammers. So what we have is called double jammer down, which means that neither team loses their jammers since they can't have a jam without jammers. So lots of penalties, and then blocker penalties abounding. Do we have any must-skate action?
Unlike flat track where we have
no,
the jammerless
really?
jam.
A totem with no must-skate? Wow, there we go. I was going to say, I see now, now, is it my instinct that, like, when there's a totem, there's often a must-skate thereafter, because usually chaos follows chaos? Not really?
Must-skate only happens with blockers.
Only blockers? No jammers? Okay, all right. Okay, see, there you go. My impression completely incorrect, says Castro. Thank you. The
Hey,
more
what
you
happens
learn,
if you can't make it to a
star.
bout?
If you can't make it to a bout, you can join us on Twitch. What do you got?
If you can't make it to a bout in person, hey, that's no problem. We've got live stream for you to watch at home. Visit us on Twitch. Our Twitch channel is twitch.tv/Arizona Derby Dames. Hey, shout out to our new subscribers and all the fans watching us on live stream. Thank you for supporting our league from home.
It's like we always like to say, if you jump into that Twitch chat, I'll try to remember to open up Twitch during like a break and monitor the chat. Usually we try to do that, but usually I'm so busy announcing I don't look down at my phone very much, so I'm not really like a great person to do that. But say hi to us in the chat. Like I said, at least say hi to the other people in the chat at the very least. Let us know where you're at. Let us know where you're watching us from if it's here in town. Tout your league if you're watching us skating from one of our local flat track leagues. We've got local flat track leagues. We always love to say there's derby around you nearly every weekend. If we're not skating here at the Derby Dames, definitely Google Derby near me. You can probably find a flat track bout darn near every weekend. There are several leagues: AZRD, AZ Skate Club. We've got Phoenix RD. We've got
Arizona Roller Girls.
AZRG. Thank you. I was going to say the Arizona State Derby team skates.
Yeah.
There's the.
You know what you cannot do if you're at home on the live stream?
What's that?
You cannot get your free 10-minute massage from Tucci's Touch in our vendor area.
All right, that took a while to get sorted out, and we are ready to go. So 8:56 to go, as we said. Now everybody's ready. Lots of penalties to serve. Pack is at a minimum. We've got All of You Die and Princess Leia. And we only have, no, Pack is not at a minimum. So, okay, so the Coffin
With
Draggers.
only 2 Brutal Beauty blockers and 3 Coffin Dragger blockers. This is a very light pack. Let's see some score on the board this jam.
Very, very light pack. And as you tend to see with light packs, both jammers out pretty quickly. So Olive's going to try to get through there, get her points, and call it off. And just like that, we're right back to the action with a.
Remember, points were still scored for the blockers who were in the penalty box at the time.
Halfway through the third quarter, that's going to be Angel of Beth for the Coffin Draggers. And that is Critter for the Brutal Beauties.
Once again, a light pack. Brutal Beauties have 3 blockers. I see 4 for the Coffin Draggers.
Pausing, waiting. There we go. And Angel of Beth immediately takes the star off and hands that forward to Strange, and Strange takes off with it. Nice clean handoff, and Strange is gone. Your jammer for the Coffin Draggers.
Skeletori takes the helmet panty off of her helmet in preparation for a possible pass. While Angel of Beth glides through like nothing.
So Strange now is going to look for an opening. Skeletori has that star off as well and is still trying to find her way through at the back of the pack.
Skeletori passes the helmet panty to her pivot. Number 52, Gnarly Quinn, is now the jammer for the Brutal Beauties.
So now here comes Strange up into the pack, trying to get
Strange
what points they can.
chooses not to call it off until the last minute.
There they called it off. Gnarly Quinn blasting in late, so you saw both teams pass that star cover forward there. Ends up being 2.5 scoring passes for Strange, 13 points for the Coffin Draggers. We've got Fitzwilliam Darcy for the Brutal Beauties, number 75.
And All of You Die for the Coffin Draggers.
They are We're checking. I see a jammer heading down for the Coffin Draggers. New jammer up for the Brutal Beauties. It's a power jam once again for the Brutal Beauties.
For the Brutal Beauties. Princess Leia at it again.
So Leia takes over as jammer. Beauties are down a blocker, however. Coffin Draggers have all 4 of their blockers in the pack.
This could be a tough one for Princess Leia.
Leia quickly to the front and manages to duck around.
Who makes quick work of it.
Manages to duck
Coming
around
around
Murder
for
Mittens.
a scoring pass.
Manages to duck around Murder Mittens and just takes off.
See the Coffin Draggers up front there trying to speed up the pack.
Leia gets blocked off to the inside by Murder Mittens, is going to try to get up to reestablish. 35 seconds left in the Brutal Beauties Power Jam.
Coffin Draggers' wall is formidable tonight.
That Coffin Draggers wall at the front of the pack is really held together well, especially well during this power jam. Now they've got a blocker coming in. They're trying to break it up. Leia got blocked to the infield and is going to call it off. So we'll see if Leia, in fact, got in front of all those blockers or no.
Sometimes jammers call off a power jam just to save some energy and keep the game rolling. Jasmanian Devil lines up with Dolly Spartan.
Was all 5 points confirmed?
Yeah.
And signaling and confirming.
Looks like we have a full pack this time.
Right.
Or is that just 3 Coffin Draggers I see up front?
Let's see. No, we got a full pack.
Looks like it's a full pack.
Jasmanian Devil is nearer the front but gets blocked, and just along the inside, shaking clear is Dolly Spartan for the Coffin Draggers. Dolly catching up. Jasmanian Devil tries to find an opening but collides and takes a tumble down to the infield as Dolly finishes off a scoring pass. And Dolly with a coping jump slides
Almost
up
pulled
high.
off the
Wow.
coping jump.
Saw Swifty down along the inside there. Swifty just got a pretty good video. Yeah, Swifty gives me an eyeball over the shoulder. You just about got a face full of Dolly. That's going to be fun to see later on. Dolly now up to the down to the inside, weaves through, kind of slaloms through the pack, and is not done.
On her
And
second
gets by
scoring
and gets
pass
that jammer point and
passing
then calls it
Jasmanian
off.
Devil for another point.
That's right. Got by there, got that jammer point, and called it off.
Very fruitful jam for the Coffin Draggers.
It's going to be all of you die for the Coffin Draggers. Dolly puts 14 points on the board for the Coffin Draggers there. So, Draggers angling up towards 200 as we head down towards the end of the third quarter. Olive, as I mentioned, along with... That's motion sickness. Been a minute since I've seen sick out there.
Motion sickness,
Yeah.
yes.
Motion sickness number 5. Here comes Olive. Olive is going to get down to the inside. Whoa, look at that sliding block by Sour Appletini, and well-timed Olive gets taken down to the infield. Has to get up and reestablish, and Olive was hands on knees.
Murder Mittens doing a good job of keeping motion sickness back.
That hit that Olive took to
finally
the
breaks
infield, and
through.
Olive's going to call it off. Olive is going to wheel back to the bench and take a seat. Yeah, Olive really got clobbered, took a hit, and went right down on the concrete. So they're going to check on all of you die over there on the bench, make sure that she is all right. Though she was able to call the jam off and got back to the bench under her own power, so no stoppage in play. That...
Here we are with Skeletorian Strange and a full pack. Or are we short one Brutal Beauty?
Got one beauty in the penalty box. That would be Sour Appletini, so that block may have been illegal that caused that. I don't know. I'm not able to see the penalty board from here, nor would I know if that was actually when that penalty happened, to be fair. But Possibility, more hard
Big
hitting.
hit
There
to
goes
the infield, but
Skeletori, yeah.
Skeletori, as Strange skirts by.
Strange takes over his jammer. Let's see. So they got an open shot back to the pack. Strange is out and moving.
Pat
Skeletori.
getting spread out.
Strange weaving, and they able to get through. They got through that time with minimal disturbance, and they're going to wait and then call it off with Tori approaching the pack.
That was a big hit by Reckless Rose.
Coffin Draggers sending up a new jammer for the first time for them this evening. Invader Slim is on the jammer line for the Coffin Draggers. And that
Haven't seen much of Mofasta since the early part of the game back here on the jammer line.
And that is Princess Sleia for the Brutal Beauties, and Sleia is already out. And as long as it took me to introduce her, here goes
Mofasta drawing Brutal Beauty out of play.
Invader Slim. Does a lot of jamming for the Valkyries when she plays for her regular home team, is filling in for the Draggers here, catching up quickly. Sleia had to get back on the track fast and call it off to avoid surrendering any points to Invader Slim. Sleia picks up 3 points at the back of the pack there for the Brutal Beauties. This is Dolly Spartan for the Coffin Draggers.
And Coretta.
Critter is out there for the Brutal Beauties indeed. Critter trying to tiptoe by along the rail, but closed off by
Critter
Angel
held up
LaBeth.
at the rail while Dolly Spartan glides through on the coping.
Critter trying
Big
to get
fight
out.
on the rail between all the blockers, opening up a hole for Dolly Spartan.
Dolly with a nifty move going down into the corner, gets a good angle and finishes off a scoring pass pretty quickly. Bunch of skaters down at the front of the pack. Taking over as jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Maximum Overdrive. So Max is going to try to force a call off here, which would leave, it does, leave time for one more jam here in the third quarter. It's glancing over. There was a chance that could have been the last jam of the third quarter, but that chance did not come to pass.
Looks like we have
7
one more
points for the
time.
Draggers. So one more jam here in the third quarter before our last quarter break of this bout. We'll give away some more raffle prizes here momentarily. They'll shuttle some tickets up to us. Quarter clock has expired, so confirming this is the last jam of the quarter. That's Fitzwilliam Darcy for the Brutal Beauties.
And Olive Die for the Coffin Draggers.
And Fitzwilliam is going to get up to that two-wall of blockers for the Draggers, and there goes Olive just darting right through. Nice
So
angle
Olive
through the
Die
corner for
slip
Olive
off
You
that
Die.
helmet panty and put it right back on her head. Did not
Fitzwilliam
pass
Darcy
it.
gets out as well for the Beauties and is going to try to force the call off here. Quickly moving pack. Olive is looking for an opening and takes a big hit mid-pack,
I
sliding
love
down,
this
tried to
old
call it
school
off, has to get
fast
up and
pack.
signal it again, signaling it again,
This is how we used to do it.
and has it called off. With to check on the sounding of the whistle there and find out who got points. I know they're going to want to talk about this one, so we've moved into the quarter break, but we're going to wait. So 3 points for the Brutal Beauties. And we're waiting. Discussion on the infield. They're checking on the score with the head referee. Quarter break has not yet started. We are still waiting on them checking on the score for, here comes Gigi. Nope. Here doesn't come Gigi.
Like to remind you all to get your raffle tickets and Place your bids for the silent auction for Lost Dutchman Tattoo and Ray Riot's Collective Tattoo.
Was 2 points for the Coffin Draggers, and we have moved into the quarter break. All right, quarter break clock has started. We'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll have some raffle prizes momentarily. There was a lot of discussion. They're still, honestly, they're still hashing it out, but the scores are locked at this point. 197.70. Heard Moxie, you may have heard Moxie over my shoulder say, a bit of a hot mess. Yes, yes, indeed. Well, when you got points for both sides, they're often when you have points for both sides in a bank track bout, it's common in flat track, much less common in bank track. So yeah, a lot of discussion there.
Go get yourselves a fancy hot dog and meet us back here for fourth quarter.
Fitzwilliam Darcy, it has been advised to me over my shoulders from Pride and Prejudice and not Downton Abbey. You know, honestly, it was like a 50-50 shot, okay? And I flunked senior year English. I graduated 4th of my class out of 365 people, and I flunked 2 classes my senior year just for sport. I didn't get to walk with my class. Unfortunately, one of those was English 4 AP, so I didn't read Pride and Prejudice. So sue me. We're back to the action.
Skeletori and Reckless Rose slamming into the back of this tight pack to start 4th quarter.
We've got lots of blocking at the front end, big hits, and there goes Mo Fasta. So, excuse me.
Reckless Rose is
Reckless
our lead
Rose.
jammer.
Thought it was Mo on the oncoming angle, but not Mo. Mo's at the, okay, yeah, no, I see Mo now. Big collision. Rose up against the rail. That's why we say stay behind that yellow line, everybody.
Giving Skeletori a chance to get through.
That's right. So now Rose gets up, is
All
going to
eyes
try
were
to,
on Reckless Rose's big hit to the track.
and Rose calls it off.
Reckless Rose calls it off. By the way, the first person through the pack isn't always the lead jammer. They have to make it through the pack without having any penalties and without going off the track.
All right, 3 points for the Coffin Draggers, puts them squarely at 2 bills for the bout, 200-70, a nice even round score at this moment. Aren't numbers pretty? I also
Olive
like
Di and Princess Leia.
full pack out there. I see a whole lot of skaters. And Slaya quickly to the front of the pack and manages to get through that front wall of defenders for the Coffin Draggers. So Slaya's out. Star back on for Olive. Olive is out on the pursuit now, trying to catch up to Princess Slaya. Slaya was routed down to the inside and got blocked off, knew she was going to get blocked off to the infield, so called it off just before doing that. Tried to get that, call it off, and then get the delay of the whistle and get past that last skater. And Slaya picks up 4 points for the Beauties there. 2 points for the Draggers, however, on the call off. So that is why you never stop skating till the whistle blows, kids. 2 points for the Draggers as well on the pursuit.
Skeletori and Dolly Spartan both getting held up in the pack early.
Dolly's going to race around the outside, though, finds an opening and takes off. Dolly Spartan is out and clear for the Coffin Draggers.
Dolly Spartan making it around and getting stopped by that tight pack to let Skeletori get through.
Heard one of those whoa
Looks
from
like
the crowd.
Skeletori passed the start to Maximum Hover Drive, who's now our drammer.
Skeletori passing that star indeed. As we said, Maximum Hover Drive comes in. It's good to see Max is up and feeling well and smiling because that track monster was hungry. That track monster reached up and grabbed Max, all of Max, but Max is all right. Call off forced successfully, so job well done. 4 points for the Coffin Draggers as we slip under 12 minutes to play in regulation.
Olive Di back up for a second go around with Gypsy Danger.
Been a while since we've seen Gypsy at the jammer line. Gypsy was up there several times early on and then has been blocking, obviously, throughout the bout. Rather full pack. I say rather full because there is one Coffin Dragger missing.
It's important for skaters to be able to jam and block, and the better you are at one position makes you better at all positions. So when we see a jammer like Gypsy Danger, you know she's coming from the perspective of a blocker and a jammer.
That was really interesting at the outset. I very clearly saw Aunt Tifa take off with the pivot stripe and take 4 or 5 really big strides as if she had the jammer star, and it was a total fake out. Olive still had it. I'm kind of glad that I caught that little thing from the inside. That was totally a little bit of gamespersonship. Meanwhile, back to the action. Gypsy Danger with a coping jump. Lands it, sliding, trying to call it off. Now gets back up and calls it off as Olive gets out.
Big hit, but she did manage to make it through for a scoring pass.
Gypsy with a big smile on. high-fiving Colette Razorcat heading over to the bench. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, wait a second. I thought the coaches were Stinkenstein and Evil Twin. No, that's Colette Razorcat, not Stinkenstein. I was told wrong. So, Evil Twin and Colette Razorcat are your coaches of the Brutal Beauties. Took me till well into the fourth quarter to realize that. So,
I hadn't realized it either.
no, I did it. Yeah, no, it's because I put the wrong information on there for you. Sorry. Yeah, Razor's out there. I feel bad. Razor's been busting her butt out there as the assistant bench coach, basically. So, yeah. Credit where credit's due. That is your coaching squad for the Brutal Beauties.
Thank you, Razorcat.
Right. Thank you, Razorcat. Motion Sickness for the Brutal Beauties. Invader Slim for the Coffin Draggers. Both of them skate for the Doomsday Valkyries in their regular time. So, teammates on the Valkyries, both subbing for these teams here to help them fill their rosters. And the star has not been passed forward by the Brutal Beauties. Has it? I'm not sure. Motion Sickness doesn't have it.
That's Invader Slim, who we haven't seen too much of tonight yet either.
We've got Maximum Overdrive has the star at the back of the pack still.
Invader Slim dances through on the inside.
Max is still trying to fight through and now grinds past and tries to keep this to ensure this is one last scoring pass. Slim goes around the high side.
Maximum Overdrive makes it through on Invader Slim's third scoring pass.
So, clock expires on that full-length jam. We're going to have a stoppage in play of some flavor. I'm going to guess it's a team timeout for the Beauties because they hadn't fielded anybody. That's usually a pretty dead giveaway. It's a team timeout when the team doesn't send anybody out to the track and you see the referee coming out. Yeah,
for the Brutal
pretty
Beauties.
Typical. Right. When it's the Valkyries, it takes the entire 30 seconds of the break clock. So the Brutal Beauties just made that more official more quickly. So, as we said, team timeout, Brutal Beauties. So, brief stoppage in play. 9:05 to go in the fourth quarter. 2:20 to 84.
Are you having fun at this bout, and do you want more roller derby action? Join us on Saturday, December 12th. Saturday, December 12th for our next home team bout. Come watch the Runaway Brides, another one of my alma maters, play with the Doomsday Valkyries, followed by the Coffin Draggers and the Bombshells. I'm sorry, the Runaway Brides wasn't my alma mater, the Bombshells were. Watch the Runaway Brides play the Doomsday Valkyries and the Coffin Draggers versus the Bombshells.
Yeah, that's going to be very exciting. Obviously, we've got a 5-team home league, and so the Brides, of course, many time repeating champions. The Valkyries finished the regular season second last year. Coffin Draggers actually finished the regular season third, but then beat the Valkyries in the playoffs to then face the Brides. So this is a matchup of the number 1 and number 2 teams from last year. It should be a whole lot of fun. And then, of course, as mentioned, that's just half the fun that night. Quickly, out we go. Your lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Princess Sleia. Jamming for the Coffin Draggers, fighting through, believe
Princess
that is
Sleia making it through on her first scoring pass before.
I was going to say, I believe that was Aunt Tifa, and Tifa stays upright.
Before Aunt Tifa even makes it through on her first
grin,
pass.
Right. Big
Way
grin
to stay
coming through
upright there,
in front
Aunt
of us.
Tifa.
Right.
That was pretty impressive.
Sleia calling out instructions from the back of the pack, up into the pack, fights through and calls it off. Looks like she got that called off before Tifa got in for any points. We'll double check as always. Don't forget, fans, during the intermission break coming up, Lucky 7 hot dogs outside. They've got fantastic hot dog options, fries, cheese fries, etc. during our half-hour break between bouts.
Goes perfectly with a brew from the Arizona Derby Dames Beer Garden over there in the corner.
Is Skeletori out there all by herself. Beauties are looking to get up over the 100-point barrier and may be able to do that here if Tori can get around twice. Tori has to get out first once, though. And so far, the draggers are not letting that happen. One of their blockers went down, but those other two blockers still in. Yeah, the Coffin draggers are like, who said 100 points? What are we talking about here? Defense holding strong. Tori does get out, but half the power jam clock is gone. So now Tori coming around.
Brutal Beauties doing what they can to slow down the pack almost to a halt.
Reckless Rose is pinned in the back, and
Tori
then
makes it easily through.
Tori's got Critter up there helping
she spreads
out.
the Coffin daggers to how to play.
And Tori finally finishes off that scoring pass and knows she didn't have time to get back around, so she calls it off. Brutal Beauties trying to save any time they can as we're under 7 minutes to go in regulation. All 5 of those points for the Beauties, so 220 to 98 right now. There'll be about 6:30 to go in regulation when this jam starts. That's going to be All of You Die for the Coffin
and
Draggers.
Fitzwilliam Darcy for the Brutal Beauties.
I do not think that, that is Motion Sickness, number 5, not 75.
I saw the 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah,
You saw the 5.
I saw the
but it
5.
was just 5. There was nothing further. That is Motion Sickness for the Beauties. However, out for the Draggers, as we mentioned, is All of You Die. I would not be at all shocked to see Olive skating in the mashup jam after this, by the way, despite having jammed like 45 of the 51 jams so far. I think Olive has been out there for the Draggers. I bet Olive's back later on. Olive out and clear. And there goes Sick, able to blast through, find an
Motion Sickness
opening.
finally makes it out of the pack as All of You Die heads through on her first scoring pass.
Six getting in as the clock expires. Points there for the Coffin Draggers, so be about, exactly 5:20 to go as this jam starts. There goes Princess Sleia and Dolly Spartan are your two jammers here. And Sleia's out for the Draggers, so Draggers are signaling. They want her to
Dolly
get on
Spartan
around.
getting beat up at the rail, but making it through on the inside as Princess
There we
Sleia
go. Big cheer from the
calls it
Beauties
off after
crowd.
one scoring pass.
I heard from the bench as Sleia went by, get that 100. So I know they were looking to break over that 100-point barrier, and they have done so. Brutal
They
Beauties
have
up
done
over a
so.
hundo, 229-102. I'd like to hit that century mark. I know that's a nice round number, and you get those 3 digits up there. That always feels like a good accomplishment. That is Fitzwilliam Darcy, number 75.
That is Fitzwilliam Darcy, number 75.
Which, as I said, as everybody knows, is from Pride and Prejudice by Anne Rice, I think. No, I'm just kidding. All of You Die is the jammer for the Coffin Draggers. Fitzwilliam Darcy is out in game. Look at this. We got ourselves a jammer race, baby. All of You Die back to the pack, trying to get a point. Wow, Fitzwilliam Darcy, super game. I love it.
Calling it off
Look at that
before
pursuit.
she even got a chance.
League rookie out there, no fear, trying to chase down Olive of all people. Trying to chase down Olive, right? Nice, fun to see. We have.
That's always exciting when that happens.
Yeah, right. Also, keeping up with Olive, who is very quick. So yeah, that's showing out from a league rookie right there. That is Skeletori for the Brutal Beauties, and Dolly Spartan for the Coffin Draggers. Gonna wait for that ponytail to move to confirm. And Dolly is going to fight past Honey Trap at the front of the pack and get clear.
Dolly Spartan making it through after getting beat up a little bit.
Tori's going to put the star back on and is out for the Beauties. Dolly looking for an opening.
Coffin Draggers spreading the pack out this time. Open it up.
Clock continues to roll. We'll be under 3 minutes to go in regulation here. 2 points for the Coffin Draggers. Black Mamba, number 16, former minor assault for the Brutal Beauties.
Seeing Black Mamba making a good show also in the pack as a blocker tonight.
And that is Embezzlement. skating for the Coffin Draggers. So Embezzlement, your co-captain for the Draggers, jamming for the first time for the Draggers. Almost always in there in the blocker pack. So M touching the jammer line for the first time, blocked off to the inside. Black Mamba out and clear, however, for those Brutal Beauties.
Brutal Beauties holding Embezzlement back while Black Mamba scores on her first pass.
And now M gets out, big windmilling arms trying to get through. I didn't say windmill that time. And M gets out, now is going to try to force the call off. Mamba is mid-pack, looking around, blocked off and calls it off.
Mamba calling
sliding
it
down
off
to the
as
inside.
Embezzlement gets right toward the back of the pack.
We have a stoppage in play. I see Freya Hugs coming up to let us know. And it is a team timeout by the Brutal
Another
Beauties.
Brutal Beauty timeout.
All right, Brutal Beauties use their last timeout. That is it for the Beauties. No more timeouts, no more challenges. So their last stoppage in play, 1:58 to go in the fourth quarter. Coffin Draggers 231, Brutal Beauties 106. Hey, let's hammer through those raffle prizes one more time really fast and get to
prizes
some
do
of
we
those
have left?
sponsors. So what do we have left to give away for the raffle? Don't forget those raffle tickets, $1 a piece, or 6 of them for $5. The remaining prizes to give away are the signed copy of the novel Darkest Day by Joseph D. Newcomer. We also have to give away the Be a Freaking Weirdo tote bag. We also have the Ravens Sweet Haven 3-pack of sweet goodies. Somadose 3-class pass. The siphon draw bag, I believe, is still out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the siphon draw bag is still out there, right? There we go.
Are we sure that's not a...
And we still got the silent auction. Don't forget the silent auction is down there. You've got the Lost Dutchman tattoo and the Raya Riot tattoo.
Siphon draw bag is not a...
Siphon draw is a raffle ticket.
It's a raffle ticket.
The silent
Cool,
auction,
that's a
however,
good
the
prize.
silent auction prizes, the 2 tattoo prizes are silent auctions. You're going to want to get down. You don't need to be present to win the silent auction. Let me clarify that. You do not have to be present to win the silent auction. So if you are taking off, feel free to drop a bid in on those tattoo prizes. Leave your contact info. You could be the lucky winner of one of those. We are back to the action. Less than 2 minutes to go in regulation.
Back at it with Critter and Dolly Spartan.
Honey Trap with a big block on Dolly Spartan, knocked Dolly to the infield. Dolly now up and is going to push Honey Trap out of play. Skeletori's going to take over as jammer for the Brutal Beauties. All right, Dolly up to the pack, and then Tori is going to call it off.
You know, you hear us talking about the Jammers and saying their names a lot because they're the closest to us and we can see their shirts more easily. But let me tell you, while the Jammers get all the glory, this game would be nothing without the blockers. These Jammers would not be anything without their blockers.
Yep, I'm the son of an offensive lineman who was supposed to also be an offensive lineman if my leg hadn't been weird. So yeah, I'm all about blockers. I'll compliment people on great blocking after bouts, straight up. We are under a minute to go in regulation. Princess Leia is out and clear for the Beauties. There is time. There will be at least one more jam. This will not run us out of time. Hard hitting along the inside. There's Gypsy Danger clearing a path for Princess Leia along the inside. Jammer for the Coffin Draggers is now taking off. Olive is trying to catch up. Slaya down to the inside, trying to get their hip in front of that last blocker and calls it off.
Yeah, Brutal Beauty's picking it up toward the end of the game here tonight.
Yeah, everybody's still in there blasting through and trying to create openings.
Like they're showing up.
It is a 7-point jam for the Brutal Beauties. This is the last jam of regulation, so we'll have to check on penalties afterwards and see if there's any bonus jams after the end. How it works is at the end of regulation, if the team that is behind skates penalty-free and the team that is ahead gets penalties, then we'll have overtime jams. That can happen when a game is really close. That can throw the game. We'll see if that happens here at the end of overtime. However, this is the last regulation jam, and that's Skeletori is who that is. And Skeletori's out for the Brutal Beauties. Coffin Draggers jam.
Coffin Draggers doing everything they can to skate clean this jam.
Yep. Strange gets out. So Strange is out for the Draggers now. Try to force this call off for Tori. Tori's trying to get as many points as she can. kind of ping-ponging up and down that defensive wall. So that is the whistle brings us to the end of the last regulation jam. So now we will watch the infield and watch the regulators and see them track these penalties coming in and see if any penalties will cause penalty jams. That could be the end of the game. We'll find out. 5 points for the Brutal Beauties. So, score right now, Coffin Draggers 231, Brutal Beauties 118. We'll find out if that is all. As we said, here we go. Here comes Freya Hugs. And that is going to do it. Your final whistle. Final score 231-118. The Coffin Draggers.
Coffin Draggers.
Coffin Draggers, scary good tonight are the Coffin Draggers, and they're victorious. Brutal Beauties right there throughout. They'll come around and we'll give them their proper daps momentarily. Come on down trackside. This is when you can come inside that yellow line, slap hands, and
Beloved roller derby tradition. Fans, feel free to go up trackside and give all the skaters a 5.
And now, here come the Brutal Beauties. Brutal Beauties are out and around, and we'll get a cheer from their crowd as well. Fans come down to slap hands from the Beauties contingent. Beauties fought throughout this one. Excellent, excellent game effort from them as well. That is the end of the game. David Michael Keith. David Michael Keith, we have your wallet. It was dropped in a large porta potty. David Michael Keith, I've got your ID, so I know what your picture is. We have your wallet up here at the announcer's desk. Up here at the announcer's desk. David Michael Keith.